Now, Martin, this creation week, which serves as a model for everything that comes thereafter, the early church believed that it also serves as a model for the entire plan of salvation stretching over 6,000 years, with the millennium of the seventh day representing the 1,000 years of rest. And that was called the Cosmic Week. Now, our modern theologians seem to have a tremendous aversion to the Cosmic Week, right? But that's what the early church fathers believed, and we did a whole study on that in number 9 already. But for the sake of completeness, let's just take this thinking a little bit further.
Yeah, and just to put it out there, bear with us. We're heading somewhere with this.
Yes, yes. All right, so let's have a look at some of the pioneers of the Advent movement. You had Waggoner from Eden to Eden, and he quotes Revelation 21:4 and 5. Eden is then fully restored. Here the river of water of life flows out from Mount Zion. Here Adam regains the tree of life, planted beside the river, which parts into separate heads as in the beginning. Here again is paradise, the garden which the Lord himself planted 7,000 years before. Martin, is that an interesting statement? So he's taking the whole creation week and changing it into a cosmic week. So the whole plan, the 6 days of labor plus the 7th day millennium of rest, 7,000 years. Let's have a look what Thomas Preble had to say about the two Adams. Before the first Adam had the conflict with Satan, in which he fell, the 7th day or Sabbath had passed. So with the second Adam, before the last and final conflict with Satan and his hosts, in which eternal victory will be gained for the Son of God and his people, the Sabbath, or 7,000 years, will be past. Did they believe in the cosmic week?
Well, actually, if you really study this, you cannot do any other.
Did Ellen White believe it?
Oh, for sure. Did God show her?
Everywhere.
We've read previously how important it is to put your perspective into this 6,000 in prohibiting you from becoming part of the infidels.
And we read the statement from her grandson, where he plainly stated that she was shown that this controversy would rage for 6,000 years and then there would be a millennium, right? Let's look at what Himes had to say, Signs of the Times, an expositor of prophecy. This was written in 1843. If then Jesus Christ does his work in 6 days and rests from all his labors on the 7th, when may we expect the great event to take place? I answer, if 1,000 years is 1 day with the Lord, as I think I have proved, then 6,000 years from the first creation, the new one must be formed. And moreover, if Christ worked after the example of his Father and rested as God rested from his labors, then the 7,000 years would be a Sabbath of rest for Christ and his people. So they all believed in this concept. But now if you deny the 6,000 years, so if you want to accept the Septuagint as your standard and throw out what the Reformers used, namely the Masoretic text, you are at loggerheads not only with the Bible, you're at loggerheads not only with the spirit of prophecy, you're at loggerheads with the early church fathers, and you're at loggerheads with the pioneers of the Advent movement, right? Yeah. Clark, Advent Review and Herald, 1866. The Bible answers every query and solves every doubt. In this blessed book, the lover of history finds full information of past and future events, beginning with the first Eden and reaching over a period of 7,000 years to the second Eden in the earth made new. Did he believe the 7,000-year period?
They were so grounded in this that I think this shows how grounded they were in the Bible.
Now, if these people lived today, and our theologians and our biblical research institutes were to engage them, do you think there would be some fireworks?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
They wouldn't be on the same page, right?
No.
Okay. Josiah Litch, the first report of the General Conference of Christians expecting the advent of the Lord Jesus Christ. Interesting title, right? It has been an almost universal opinion of the church, both Jewish and Christian, that the Sabbath prefigures a glorious state of rest for the church during the 7,000 years of the world. The principal argument in favor of this are briefly as follows. God made the world in 6 days, rested on the seventh, and constituted the Sabbath as a type of future rest. So we may expect that after the troubles and commotions of 6,000 years, there will be a rest of 1,000 years from all these sorrows.
Isn't it interesting that he also acknowledges here that basically the universal opinion of church, Christian and Jewish had the same idea?